Welcome back. Let's talk about what we can do, or what we can tell these people to do to help take the abortion mill out of their community if it's already there, or prevent it from coming there to begin with.
And it is much better thing to prevent one from coming there in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
It's much easier to prevent one than to get one out if it's already there.
Yeah, it's like it's easier to prevent a disease than it is to cure it.
Definitely.
And this is a disease.
Oh, it is a disease. You know, we've kind of put together a list of things that you can do if you have an abortion mill in your town, or if you're expecting one to be open there. They've announced that there's going to be one. But there's also some things you need to be looking for to see if you're susceptible. In other words, are you a good place for somebody to put an abortion mill there? Because if you are, somebody is going to. Linda?
That's right, Mark, because we have to remember that abortion is an industry just like anything else, any other store. So first of all, go to your state agencies that have these kind of statistics and find out what the teenage pregnancy rate is. If it's a high teenage pregnancy rate in your state and in your area, chances are you're right for an abortion mill. Also, is there a college or university or trade school in your area? Is there a military base, a boot camp, a naval yard? All of these are going to provide customers for abortion mills. The clinics in the area, has one recently closed. Another abortionist may have caused that, and that might cause another mill to come in and fill that vacuum. Also, is there a high minority population? We've seen over and over again where the abortion industry targets minority populations. Also, are there politicians in your area that favor the pro-abortion side,
especially if they're open
people
about
in
it.
office and in power,
especially mayors or just a excuse me, or city council overall. If they're going to make it easier for an abortion clinic to come in, that's a place the abortionist is going to look for.
That's right.
Also, another issue to think about is if abortions are already being performed at the local hospital, it's going to be much easier to recruit an abortionist that way. And if you're in a community that has a population of 35,000 or more, or if you have a population of 35,000 within a surrounding area about a 45-minute drive from your town, and this would include if that a population from a university or a military base that would add to that number. Don't think just because you're in a relatively small town it's not going to happen. They only need, like we said, about 35,000 people to make it happen. Also, if you have a high unemployment rate or a seasonal industry in your community, that's another thing that abortionists are going to look for. Or if a retired abortionist or a high-profile pro-abort OBGYN lives in your area, that's the type of person that the abortion industry is really looking to recruit. And if you have a supply of medical residents in your area, they want to get those student loans paid off as quickly as possible. And so if they're even within a 2-hour drive of your town, a hospital that has medical residents there, that's going to be an area that could be prone for an abortion mill.
You know, we need to point out why it's important if you have a retired abortionist or a retired OBGYN who's high profile pro-abort, why that's important and why the abortion industry goes after them. They do so because these guys don't have a practice to worry about. A lot of people who would otherwise do abortions don't, because they know they'll lose all their non-abortion patients. And if the guy's retired,
and it's a very lucrative retirement plan, making up to $100,000 a year for working 4 hours a week.
Right, it's a good deal.
That's a nice deal for them.
Now, those are just a few of the suggestions for how to determine if your community is at risk for having one of these death camps move in.